You're on CYInterview.
I'm Chris Yannick, featured columnist Jay Bilstein is with me. Today on CYInterview, we welcome Las Vegas Aces head coach Bill Laimbeer. The WNBA Finals start tomorrow evening. Coach, thanks so much for being with us on CYInterview. How are you?
A little tired these days, but other than that, we're making progress.
Well, getting back to it, I remember in 2018 I attended one of your first practices at the UNLV campus, got a chance to interview Asia Wilson after the practice that day, got to watch you coach from afar. I could tell this was going to be something special looking back to 2018. Now in the third season as the Las Vegas Aces head coach, what does it mean to get this group of talented women to the WNBA Finals, and how does it feel looking back on everything it took to get to this point over 3 seasons here in Las Vegas?
Well, it was a process that we started on, getting, the team I took over was last place for 3 years in a row, which means we got a couple good picks, but especially we got Asia Wilson to build around. There's no question about that one, what a talent she was, a raw talent. And then we just had to keep, get a mindset of winning. And what really helped was the newness of Las Vegas. The fans came to the game, were really into it. It created an atmosphere that players really enjoyed, not only from the players that were here, but players looking at us from afar as a destination part for them to come to also. So I think everything came together at once, a different philosophy of me coming in, getting Asia Wilson, a new town, new owner, first class across the board compared to what the team was used to before. So it all built into a perfect storm. And I said year 3 was the year that we thought we could compete for the championship, and here we are.
Looking at this, the professional sports, of course, is still relatively new here in Las Vegas with the Raiders, Golden Knights, and, of course, your Aces. But what has the experience for you been like coaching women's basketball in Las Vegas? How would you sum it up compared to some of your other coaching experiences?
I think it's a market made for our product. It's a basketball star of town from way back when, as all people in Las Vegas know, when the Running Rebels were hot. And they've fallen on bad times, the town has as far as basketball. There is no NBA team there now, and I don't think there's one coming for the foreseeable future. So we're it. And we have a great product. We're professional basketball. The ladies are the best in the world. And more importantly, also, we have personalities on our team, from myself on down to the players, that people can embrace it and understand and enjoy. I think that's one of the biggest selling points for us is the Asia Wilsons of the world, Liz Cambage, Kelsey Plum, kind of like Angel McCautry. The fans really have embraced our product, and we can really grow this thing.
Some of the most talented women in women's basketball in the entire world. Last question before I throw it to my colleague, Jay. Sum up the WNBA Finals for me. How does the team feel? How are you going to approach this? You've been here before, obviously, won multiple other WNBA championships.
I think it's a newness for a lot of our players, except for Angel McCautry, who's been in 3 times and lost them all. I think they're just excited. They realize what they've accomplished so far, but they haven't accomplished anything. So there's still more work to be done. They're a very resilient bunch. They play for each other, and Asia has become a machine. She just says, "All right, hop on my back. You know what I'm going to do every night. I'm going to get you 20+ and 10+ rebounds," and that keeps us in every game. Now the other players understand their roles. As long as they fulfill their roles, we can win any game we play. And that's what's been happening. And I think the confidence factor, plus up 10 or down 10 for this team, is they just keep on playing. And they just keep grinding it out, and we're able to win.
Okay.
Coach, what has it been like coaching in the pandemic?
Interesting, different, weird. Pick any adjective you want to. It's just, it wears you down. You don't have your family or friends. The only routine is you go eat, and then you go back to your room, or you go to practice. Then you go back to your room. Then you eat, and you go back to your room. It's really trying as far as nothing to do, and so all you can do. You only do so much internet. You can only do so many books or magazines or newspapers. So it is a grind. But now it's weird. Also now is most of them are gone. There's only 2 teams left standing with the support staff and the referees and some league personnel. So it was a very crowded situation, crowded. Now there's nobody here, so it's even weirder.
If you could compare, for when you played ball, the strength and conditioning regimen that you went through compared to what your players currently go through.
So completely different in my time slot compared to today's professional athlete. Back when I was playing, a stretching session took maybe 3 minutes. Now it takes 20 minutes to get the players ready to go out and practice. It's just the weights, the weight room is much more intense. Everything about professional athletic body training is what this is about. Before it was just, hey, let's go play. And then let's go drink afterwards and all night long and then play the next day. This is very intense stuff for professional athletes. It's become that way, and it's going to continue to be that way.
Do you think it's less fun for the player today than it was in your day?
Yeah, probably so. The money is, women don't make a lot of money, but the men do. The money is become, making it more of a business than a game. It's still a game. You're still supposed to have fun, but the pressure of the money and the pressure of winning has really intensified over the years. So I think some of the fun's probably gone.
Pat Summitt was on here with us, with Chris, on CYInterview before she died. One of John Wooden's players, who went on to be, I believe, the president of CBS Entertainment, was on with us. Who are your coaching heroes when it comes to basketball specifically? Not simply women, but let's say professional basketball and then college basketball.
I don't really have any of that. The only coach I'll ever talk about is Chuck Daly. I don't really follow any blueprint or any path. I do my own thing, and it's worked very well. I'm a little different. I'm more of a relationship coach than I am an X and O coach, although I can do X and O's. Chuck Daly, I always tell the story about him, is he'd come to the gym with an idea, and he would say, okay, let's try this play, and we would try it, and then we would remold it as players, and then we'd run it, and he'd go, okay, that looks good, then he'd get the hell out of the way. The players play the game, the coaches don't. And that's the philosophy I've always used as a player and as a coach. The players are the show. And oh, by the way, don't yell at me, coach, or I'm going to shut down. So I don't really yell at my players. I just challenge them.
Do you think there are players, and there have been coaches who just said you don't yell, like all of a sudden Bobby Knight popped to mind. Do you think that there are any players who react positively to being humiliated and berated, or do you think these so-called great coaches who did that succeeded in spite of that behavior?
I think it's changed over the years. I think way back when the coaches, especially in college, were complete dictators. In my time slot, that was a given, and it's gotten better over the years because the modern players come up and they look at the pros and they think they're pros. So don't yell at me. A couple players would like to be yelled at, not embarrassed, but yelled at and demanded of. Those are few and far between these days. But there are quality players that are like that. They want to be held to task. Like we have one, Kelsey Plum. She will say, I want you to be on my case. I want you to yell at me. I want you to get on me. Even though it's not me. But they're few and far between these days.
What do you think your team and success to this date, before you started, you say, hey, don't congratulate me just yet. But what do you think your path means to a city of Las Vegas that has been really up against it in the face of COVID-19?
I don't know. I'm hoping we're a positive story, that people are really paying attention. We're on TV, ESPN, or ABC every game, so they're able to watch. But the weirdest thing is going to be, you don't know what's happening on the outside. You can read newspapers or you can watch TV interviews, things like that, but we're so isolated, we don't even know what the real world is out there. When we get out of here, it's going to be quite a shock to everybody. what the real world is, which we don't know what it is. But I really can't answer that question because I'm not in Las Vegas. I don't see a lot. We're in different time zones. So I'm hoping that we're a story and that people are paying attention.
Interestingly, indeed, on a more global basis and stepping away from basketball, but using the mentality of a coach, and a coach has to be somebody who motivates, like you said, work on relationships, who inspires, and who also has critical input at the particular time. If you were coaching the nation right now, when it comes to getting through this pandemic, what would be your kind of coaching words based on 20 years in that kind of position?
Wow. Stay the course. Don't give in. This not going to go away. And it's not, there's not going to be no magic bullet or magic cure to solve this problem. It's going to be here for an extended period of time, if ever. It never goes away. So you have to deal with it. Change the way the world is, no question about it, but you can't give in. You still have, if you're an independent person, still be independent. Don't be subservient to a virus or a culture of, this is how you have to do it in the future. No. The United States is built on individualism, and it still has to be maintained.
So no learned helplessness, a kind of Winston Churchill attitude of never give up, never give in. Maybe it may be a trite witticism, but a quitter never wins and a winner never quits?
Yeah, something like that. This is a little bit more life and death than a game. But at the same time, it is what it is. We have to live with it and deal with it, and just don't let it dominate our lives.
Do you think that sports are more important than ever before because they show people and they showcase that attitude?
I don't know that. I suspect not. I think sports hit its zenith in the last few years. When times are good, everybody jumps on the bandwagon. And when times aren't so good right now, you're seeing them jump off the bandwagon. Euphoria is past. Now reality kicks in. As well, like the money and things like that. The money's not going to be there going forward for the sports situations. It's not going to happen for many years. So I think it's hit its zenith. It will come back in the future, but right now it's going to take a hit.
Interesting point. Chris?
Well, Coach, I can say to you from the beginning, we have been covering the Aces, doing news stories we had on Asia right before you guys had your first game back in 2018, and we've been paying attention. I can tell you, in closing for this conversation, that there are a lot of Las Vegas locals who do care about the Aces, and you guys winning their first professional championship would mean a lot to this town.
I hope so. I think the players are playing like that. They really miss the fans. They really miss the city. I have some players new players like Angel McCautry, who's never experienced that, and that was one of the big keys of her coming here, not only to win, but also to experience the atmosphere in Las Vegas. So they're all looking forward to getting back on the court with fans. I hope the fans are too, and we have something special going on.
Final question for you. Looking at this entire situation, what from your playing days, if anything, do you apply to your coaching today?
The players are the game. And I hated a coach who was a grinder, try to call every play. I don't call hardly any plays. I let the players call those plays. They're the ones playing the game. Now, they're the ones that understand what's working for them and what's not working for them. So I make all the substitutions, moving people in and out. They appreciate my honesty. But the players are the game. And without the players, none of us have a job.
Las Vegas Aces head coach Bill Laimbeer, the WNBA Finals start tomorrow night, October 2nd. Coach, thanks so much for being with us on CYInterview. Looking forward to watching the WNBA Finals. I know you guys haven't won anything yet, but congratulations on getting here at least.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Take care.